So in this video we are going to derive the equation for truss element. So normally the truss element is the axially loaded element. So the stiffness matrix K for the axially loaded element, we know it is AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So for all axially loaded element, we have derived this equation for bar element. So it is also axially loaded element. So we can use the same equation for the truss member also. If a truss member is purely vertical or horizontal, there is no issue. If the truss member is inclined towards some angle with respect to horizontal, so we have to derive our basic equation. So initially I am representing the local as well as global coordinates. So this is, I am considering node I and J here, I and J. So this is the local coordinate system. So displacement at ith node, in local coordinate system, local coordinate, whereas uj is displacement at jth node in same local coordinate system. So now I am going to represent the global coordinate. The global coordinate, if you take the inclined profile, you can split into horizontal as well as vertical component. Ui capital X is the horizontal local coordinate. Ui capital Y is the vertical global coordinate. Similarly, you can split at jth node into 2. So uj capital X, uj capital Y are the local coordinates of jth node. So for initially I and j are the node number, ui and uj are the displacement in local coordinate system. Capital ui x, capital ui y is the global notation for displacement. So I am going to write down the equation for the horizontal displacement local coordinate in x direction. So how I can represent the displacement at ith node, with the global coordinate system. So ui capital X, if you want to get the inclined displacement at the inclined axis, you have to resolve this uix with respect to this coordinate, with respect to the inclined coordinate. So what is it means? It is uix cos theta. If you resolve capital uix, multiply with the angle, cos angle, it will give the displacement along the ith node. So it is in the direction for x. Next you have to add for the global coordinate uiy with the sine component to get the y direction component. So if you add the horizontal as well as vertical component, it is the net displacement in ith node in element level, local element level. So these are the global representation, capital uix and capital uiy are the global displacement. Because our truss consisting of many members, some members can be inclined, some members is purely vertical, some members may be purely horizontal. So we should consider the overall coordinate system, capital uix and uiy, in which x is along this direction, y is along the vertical direction. So similarly, you can write the equation for uj capital X cos theta plus uj capital Y sin theta. So now I am going to write in the order to get the matrix format. So these are vectors in local level. We have some transformation matrix while interpolating with the global axis. So I am ordering the global parameters as capital UIX and capital UIY, capital UIJX, capital UJY. So these are the parameters should be in the right side matrix. So how we can relate with this global coordinate for the local coordinates? So it is an interpolation function which relates the local displacement with the global axis displacement. So what is the parameter here? UIX, the coefficient is cos theta. So we can write cos theta. Next, the same equation consists of UIY multiplied with sin theta. For the first equation ui, there is no representation of j. There is no representation of j since we can put 0. Similarly, in the second equation, there is no representation of I. So first two elements are 0. The next element, that is the coefficient for I, jx is cos theta, and the coefficient for jy is sin theta. So this matrix is represented as transformation matrix. This matrix is called as transformation matrix T. So it is in the scalar form. We can represent this as delta, vector delta element for the element in local level. We can indicate the global displacement delta for the element in global axis. So we can have the relation between the element local coordinate to the global coordinate displacement. So we are using cos theta, sin theta. So I am going to replace the cos theta and sin theta with the letters L and M. Whereas you can get the value of cos theta, instead of using angle, we can use the coordinate system to find the value of L and M, because it is somewhat easier for our calculation, where L is x2 minus x1 by LE, effective length, where M is y2 minus y1 by LE, where LE is the effective length between the coordinates x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So if you take a member, you have some x1 y1 and x2 y2 for representing the corresponding nodes. So you can substitute the values to get L and M, where L is cos theta, M is sin theta. So it is easy to understand while you are deriving equation. So now we know the equilibrium equation for the finite element method. Equilibrium equation is Ku equal to F. Here I am going to represent with delta. So K delta equal to F. So F and delta are in vector form. So it is for element. K is also for element level with the local coordinates. This expression is for local coordinates. Now we have the equation number 1. You keep this is equation number 1, where you can get the equation for the displacement in element level in local coordinates. So I am going to substitute here. Instead of delta EL, I am going to substitute K. So K is not changing for element and local coordinate. Instead of delta EL, I am going to substitute the transformation matrix and the delta for the element level in the global coordinate. The next is FEL. Now I am going to multiply pre-multiply. I am going to pre-multiply with T transpose on both sides. So now the equation is can be rewritten as T transpose K T. So these are in scalar format. T transpose Ke is still in local level. Delta is changed to the global coordinate system. And here also T transpose scalar form and F is in vector form for local level. So now I am going to evaluate T transpose F E local with what is T transpose initially. So we have this is T cos theta sin theta 0 0 0 0 cos theta sin theta. So now the T transpose is transpose of the matrix cos theta sin theta 0 0 0 0 cos theta sin theta. So I am transposing the matrix and the force vector for the element in local coordinate is Fi and Fj. So this will become, if you multiply the Fi with this matrix, we can get Fi cos theta, next Fi sin theta, Fj cos theta and Fj sin theta. So we get this as the resultant. So what it means, it is the force vector for the element in global coordinate system. So it is the force system for the element in global coordinate system. So we can replace T transpose FEL into FE global. So T transpose K E L T delta E G, which is equal to FEG. So now look at this T transpose KT. It is a scalar form. It is not going to vary according to the direction. So it is all in the scalar form. So we are going to replace this term as KE global because the stiffness matrix is multiplied with the transpose and get converted to the global coordinate. So I am going to write K matrix for the elements in global level and the deflection vector for the element in global level is equal to force vector for the elements in global level. So now this is our equilibrium equation for the truss. So we have to find out the K for the elements in global level with the available transpose matrix and available local coordinates stiffness matrix. So this is T. So T transpose K, E, L and T is the global stiffness matrix. So I am keeping cos theta is equal to L, sin theta equal to M. So T transpose is L M 0 0 0 0 L M. This is the transformation matrix. And K matrix for the element in local level for axially loaded member, we know AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 and transformation matrix is LM 0 0 0 0 LM. So I am going to multiply this row with this column. So 1 into L minus 1 into 0. So which is L. Next one 1 into M minus 1 into 0, which is M. Next one 0 into 1 minus 1 into L is minus L. Similarly 0 into 1 minus 1 into M is minus M. So in next row minus 1 into L is minus L. Minus 1 into M is minus M. Minus 1 into 0 is 0. 1 into L is L. And next 1 into M is M. So next we have to multiply this with T transpose in next step. So I'm going to write here LM 0 0 0 0 LM multiply by this matrix. Previously it is AE by L. So if you multiply this L multiply by L, so it is L square. 0 multiply by minus L is 0. So it is L square. First value is L square. Next one L multiply by M is LM. 0 multiply by minus M is 0. So next one LM. Next one L into minus L, that is minus L square. Similarly the next term L multiply by minus M. So minus LM. So the next row M is multiplied by L. So it is LM. M is multiplied by M, it is M square. So I am not considering the cofactor for 0 because all are 0. Then M is multiplied by minus L. So minus LM. M is multiplied with minus M. So minus M square. So the third row, you neglect the first component, you concentrate on the second. So you need not worry about the first row because this component is going to multiply with the bottom row. So L is multiplied with minus L. So it is minus L square. Next one minus LM. Next one L square. Next one LM. The last row M is multiplied with this bottom row because all others are 0 in top row. So minus LM minus M square, ML and M square. So now it is over. This is the stiffness matrix in global coordinate multiplied with AE by L. So you should not forget to put AE by L because the stiffness matrix should include the material property also. So now it is over. I must summarize the stiffness matrix AE by L, L square LM and the negative component of the first two element, and the diagonal matrix is similar. Next diagonal is M square and the negative component of the same. The third one, the diagonal, here it comes, so it is minus L square. The diagonal matrix for any stiffness matrix should be similar. So here minus LM, so here also minus LM. Next one, it is L square ML. So I can put here minus LM. So definitely the diagonal matrix here is minus LM. Next one minus M square here. So here also minus M square. Next one here ML. So definitely here also LM and M square. So if you see the diagonal element, it only varies. Here the off diagonal elements on both sides are symmetrical. Off diagonal element for the both side are symmetrical. So this is one of the property of stiffness matrix. There is a possibility of 2 mark question. What are the properties of stiffness matrix? So now the displacement at I and jth node is equal to LM 0 0 0 0 LM. We already seen the equation UIX, UIY, UJX and UJY. Next thing, is stress. We are interested to find out the stresses. So sigma, we know the basic equation. Young's modulus into strain. The strain can be defined as uj minus ui by LE. Uj minus ui can be taken outside. So u minus ui. So the coefficient for ui is minus 1. The coefficient for uj is plus 1. So if you multiply it with this component ui and uj, this equation should come. So if you multiply ui with minus 1, it is minus ui, plus 1 into uj is uj. So you will get uj minus ui. So now I am going to substitute ui, uj here. I am going to substitute these terms here to get the final form E by L minus 1, 1 and the transformation matrix Lm 0, 0, 0, Lm and the displacement in global level. Okay, this is the final form of equation for stress. So that's all about the derivation of displacement and stress equation, stiffness equation for the stress element having inclined coordinates. If you have some horizontal or vertical coordinates, simply you can substitute AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 for the stiffness matrix. If you have some inclination, you have to find out the coordinate or the angle to substitute in the transformed formation of stiffness matrix. So we will do a problem on this truss as well as the beam member in two-dimensional analysis.